Good morning to one and all. In the previous classes, we discussed about different things and techniques involved in this ground improvement techniques for the purpose of dewatering. That means whenever we are going to construct a project, the first main thing we need to consider is whatever the water content present in the soil. In those ground improvement techniques, mainly we are focusing on dewatering techniques. That means the water content present in the soils which have adverse effects on the foundation of a project, so that for every project the foundation is playing a major role for bearing the total loads which were coming from the structure itself. If at all there is a structural deformation due to this water, that means the groundwater present in the soil itself, it will cause adverse effects on the structure within the proper life, that means below the lifespan of a structure. So that we need to control those adverse effects simply by removing total content of water present in the soil. In those previously we have discussed different techniques, that means pumping methods and dredging methods, all those are discussed in the chapter. But today's class is totally entirely this movement, that means flowing. Normally, in the rainy seasons, we are observing the rainwater flow from one field to another field due to these gravitational actions and other natural parameters. That means like wind and other topographical parameters. Likely, in our ground also, we need to maintain some topographical parameters and natural things. Why? Because nowadays we are observing a huge amount of rainfalls are occurring on different areas without expectations of these climatic changes. That means normally these rains will fall on June to November, so that we will call it as a monsoon seasons. That means in those area, in those time of period only we will get the rain. But due to this urbanization and huge amount of globalization, all those things, the atmospheric features also changes in any of the time due to this movement of these tornadoes and tufans. Likely we have to face different kinds of water effects on the structures. We need to take care of our structure by using this ground improvement technique, simply movement of water in our site itself. First of all, why we need to go for dewatering? That means dewatering means the content of water which was present in the site, all those things we need to remove by using these pumps and other natural parameters. That means we are using different quantities of materials for normally PVC materials and other layer by layer techniques, all those are helpful for dewatering purpose. Next one is the groundwater control. That means groundwater is normally formed due to the seepage of rainwater into the soil itself. Whenever there is a voids present in the soil, automatically those voids will absorb content of water present on the top layers. Due to the seepage properties and permeability properties, the top layer water will be absorbed from layer by layer until we will get a hard rock strata. Above the hard rock strata, the total content of water will be stored in the form of groundwater. Those groundwater we will use for different purposes whenever we are having a need of agriculture. Those things we have to use for agricultural purpose. Suppose if there is an industry, so that industry purpose also we need some quantity of water for drinking and other industrial usages, so that this groundwater also we are using. Likely in a different places we are using groundwater in different purposes, so that we have to use this groundwater up to a particular level. Otherwise due to this salt water intrusion, this is the nowadays this salt water intrusion is the most widely spreading topic. Why? Because this salt water intrusion will takes place in coastal areas. That means our Andhra Pradesh is moreoverly having more huge amount of coastal area from Srikakulam to this Nellore, so that we need to focus on this salt water intrusion. all those things comes under this groundwater control. Without groundwater means automatically the total soil will be in a dry stage. Whenever the soil is in a dry stage, automatically due to the action of sun, the total particles will recharge to a certain amount of power. Due to those power, automatically the water which was present on the sea levels, those things will be absorbed to the, that means coastal areas, that the lands which are available on the coastal areas, all those things will be done in a time by time. That means day to day, this will be a incremental process. That means the total soils will absorb day by day particular quantity of water. After some times, the total soils will be having huge amount of this salt content. So that if at all that means the soils having salt will automatically those are not suitable for cultivation. So that we need to focus on this groundwater control for the purpose of this irrigation purpose or our structural purpose. That is the importance of this groundwater control. Next one, what is dewatering? How we need to control this groundwater? As previously we explained all these things, dewatering means total content of water which was present in the soils, those things we need to remove. And groundwater control means the groundwater simply moving from one place to another place, so that those groundwater also we need to control. That means simply we need to safeguard those groundwater in particular soils only, because of we need to avoid this salt water intrusion. That means if at all there is no water on the lands, automatically this water will be seeped by the soils. If at all there is a water, automatically those water will not be enters into the surroundings. So that we need to control the groundwater in coastal areas only. Next one, we have to discuss these groundwatering and dewatering techniques. Previously we discussed, so that we need to recall few things. Dewatering systems are routinely used in the construction industry to provide temporary reductions in the groundwater levels for structures which extends to below the groundwater level. That means normally dewatering systems are routinely used. That means routinely used means day by day these dewatering systems are used for the controlling of this water intrusion into the foundation level. Why? Because in olden days these dewatering techniques are not implemented. Why? Because in the olden days itself we are having a small stage structures. That means small structures means only 2 story or 3 story buildings are near. Whenever we are having a necessity of constructing a huge quantity of dams and other structures itself, we need to focus on this dewatering system. These dewatering systems are implemented in the year of 1965 itself. After that, the utilization is moreoverly increasing day by day because of due to this rapid amount of urbanization in the cities itself. After the reduction of groundwater levels for structures which extends to below the groundwater, that means simply we are totally removing the groundwater, so that there may be some quantity of reduction of groundwater level. Why? Because simply we are removing the water present in the soil, so that there may be no storage of groundwater. That means in a different areas we are digging huge amount of boreholes, and we are simply drawing the water from the boreholes, so that there will be no recharge. That means no recharge means if at all we are having different seasons, rainy season, summer season and winter season, so that in a different seasons we are having different soil climates. That means in the winter season the total soil having moisture on the top layer. That means up to 1 feet we are having a moisture content in the soil. But in case of these rainy seasons we are having huge amount of moisture. That means meters to meters. That means meters means simply a 10 to 20 feet distance also we are having moisture content, especially in villages. Why? Because in villages we are having more amount of agricultural lands. All those agricultural lands simply absorb the water content and they will store in the ground level. But in case of cities there is no proper soil conditions. Why? Because moreoverly for the purpose of transportation and residential purposes we are constructing a huge thick amount of these CC layers. That means cement concrete layers we are constructing, so that there may be no chance for permeability of water, so that there may be no amount of recharge is done for the groundwater purpose. Likely in residential in cities and urbanized areas, we have to go for up to 200 to 400 feet for getting groundwater. Why? Because of there may be no recharge points for the collection of groundwater. So that simply nowadays we are observing our central government proposed a few plans for recharging of this groundwater, so that if we are constructing a new house, there may be necessity, that means it is compulsory to construct a soak pit, that means recharge points for groundwater. Otherwise the government will not give permission for construction of a house. Likely these things will severely, that means all those things are very responsible for each persons. Why? Because of in the future we need to go for a huge amount of diversions. That means already in our industry, in our Andhra Pradesh state, previously we are having Telangana and Andhra as a combined state. In those days we are having Godavari and Krishna rivers as a food for our state. Otherwise nowadays we are having huge amount of projects like Sri Ram Sagar project and other projects are constructing, and all the water will be stopping in higher states like Maharashtra, Karnataka and Telangana. Due to those conditions also there may be scarcity of water we have to face. Due to those also there may be no content of water on the rivers. Only we need to depends upon this groundwater, so that we have to recharge those groundwater whenever we are having these rainy seasons. That is the purpose of dewatering and importance of rainwater collection. What is groundwater control? That means groundwater control extends this definition to encompass any pumping or recharge system used for the manipulate of groundwater levels for a range purposes. Here simply the groundwater control, that means we need to control the groundwater only for particular areas only. For those also we need to use different techniques. That means we need to construct a peripheral wall. That means periphery means I will show with the diagram. This is the normal construction site what we are having, so that around this construction site we need to construct a particular layer of this thickness, so that this layer will helps us to controlling of this groundwater flow from surrounding soil to this soil. That means in this particular square portion we are having a soil, so that on the periphery of the soil square portion we are having some content of soil, so that due to the natural flow of water, that means gravity and other natural parameters, seepage and permeability, all those will leads to improve of this groundwater in the soil itself. So that those improve of groundwater also controlled by using different parameters like seepage walls. That on the periphery of our soil we need to construct a certain quantity of these seepage walls or any other ionic, that means steel or galvanized iron sheets are used for the controlling of this water from one soil to another soil. Likely in our agricultural field, simply you are constructing certain quantity of these periphery walls. That means those walls are simply giving some quantity of information that those fields are related to some persons, those fields are related to some persons. Likely here also we are simply constructing a periphery wall for controlling of this groundwater flow from one field to another field. This is the importance. This can be achieved by a variety of ways. That means a plenty number of ways are discovered by our researchers and scholars, so that those ways will helpful for us for constructing different quantities of walls around the structure. Why? Because of simply we are digging in the soil and controlling groundwater, all those leads to scarcity, so that we need to use different methods for controlling. What are those different methods? The different methods for dewatering and groundwater control are, in addition to the groundwater, surface water also needs to be controlled. That means groundwater means below the ground surface whatever the content of water present, those things we will call as a groundwater. And what is the surface water means, in some of the areas due to this rain falling and a huge amount of scarcity of these canal based systems. All the water which will be flowing on the ground itself, those water we will call it as a surface water. Recently we are observing total Hyderabad state is some water, that means total Hyderabad state has faced a huge amount of these tufans, so that the total city will be in the condition of blocking of drainage, and total water will be entered into the homes and hospitals and other buildings, so that they are facing huge amount of water scarce problem. That means there is no proper drainage, and there is no lack of storage of these nalas and canals. Due to that also, there may be some scarcity of these water storage structures, where they are facing simply the flow of surface water on the surroundings of the fields and houses. So the blockage will be takes place, so that we have to focus on those things also. Why? Because we need to face huge amount of days, and by days we have to wait for huge amount of collection period and repetitive periods. All those things will be very much useful, that means very much harmful to us. Why? Because for water stagnant means automatically there may be a chance of spreading diseases and malaria and dengue, like, so that we have to focus on those things also. Any excavation should have a system for the surface water control. That means we need to go for excavations. Like in olden days we are having huge amount of canals and these మనం చెరువులు అంటూ ఉంటాం. చాలా చెరువులు ప్రతి ఒక్క పల్లెటూరులో కూడా మన చెరువులు అనేవి ఉంటాయి. ఎందుకంటే whenever we are having these rainy seasons, automatically the total water will be collected into these canals and bunks. That means tank bund, likely we are having a small quantity of bunks. All those bunks will recharged whenever there is a rainy season. Automatically those water will be used for our summer periods. That means summer periods we are having a scarcity of water. Those water will be used for the purpose of drinking and sanitation and other agricultural purposes. So that we have to focus on this excavation purpose also. That means we need to use some quantity of small scale excavations for the storage of water on the total over the surface, not below the surface, typically consisting of sump pumps and French drains. These are all some quantities of examples for the flow of groundwater. That means whenever we are controlling this water on the above surface, means automatically there may be no flowing into the below surfaces. That means there may be no recharge to groundwater. Only the total water will be on the above the soil surface. Those will be used for different purposes. What is the surface water, and how come from a variety of sources? That means what are the major sources for the surface water? First of all, we are having including rainfall. That means including rainfall means we are simply avoiding this rainfall. Without rainfall, what are the different things for surface water? First of all is the direct seepage from the nearby rivers or lakes. That means direct seepage. What is meant by seepage means normally the land having a huge amount of soil, so that soil is interlinked from one state to another state, one village to another village, and one city to another city. That means there may be no gaps between the soil and the city, so that the total water will be simply seeped by one area to another area. That means if there is a huge amount of water on the particular site, automatically those water will be absorbed by the surrounding layers of the soil, and those will be seeped to the surrounding layers. That means if at all there is a water on the total area, automatically I will show with the diagram. This is the total content of water present in the lake or any pond, so that this water simply going onto the surrounding fields by this I will drawing a lines, that means with a arrowheads, so that the simply water will be flowing on the surrounding soils, likely here to here and here to here, here to here, from these seepage activities. Likely the total water from nearby rivers and lakes. That means rivers means in India we are having different rivers like perennial rivers and imperennial rivers, జీవనదులు అంటూ ఉంటాం మనం. Those perennial rivers having a recharge basis from these Himalayas. That means Himalayas we are having huge quantity of ice. Those ice simply melting due to this normal temperature. Those melting water will be flowing onto these rivers like Ganga and Brahmaputra. Likely we are having different perennial rivers, and after that we are having imperennial rivers. Imperennial rivers means like our Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. All those are imperennial rivers. Those are simply having a recharge point of rainfall. Rainfall is a recharge point for those imperennial rivers, so that whenever these rivers are flowing and flowing, automatically some quantity of water will be seeped by the soils. That is the surface water. After that we are having even runoff. That means runoff from the concrete operations. Concrete operations means in our cities we are having huge quantity of concrete structures like these roads and buildings. Due to those roads and buildings, there may be no seepage of water in the cities, so that the total water will be transferred into the surrounding villages and surrounding sub-mandals and other districts, so that the total water will be flowed from one area to another area due to these concrete covers and concrete operations. Next one is the clearing of the site excavator. That means clearing of the site excavator means automatically when we are constructing a particular building on the site, automatically we need to excavate the content of water in the subsoils and the sub layers. Whatever the source surface water should be controlled, allowed by efficient constructing operator. That means simply we are using these bore holes, trench holes and dig holes. All those are some of the examples for the site excavation for the purpose of groundwater control. These are the variety of sources for surface water flow. We need to understand what is the surface water, what is the subsurface water. Surface means over the surface of road, we will call it as a surface water. Below the surface of road, it is called as a groundwater. Surface water and groundwater. Subsurface water, simply we will call it as a groundwater. Groundwater control measures classified into two main types. First one is the exclusion and second one is the pumping. Normally pumping we all know in a different villages, all that means huge amount of people are coming from villages and village backgrounds, so that whenever you are having a vacation or a summer holidays, automatically you are going to your grandmother's houses. In those days you have to observe these pumping mechanisms. Likely huge amount of villages having this canal based irrigation. That means in our Andhra Pradesh we are having huge amount of canal based irrigation. That means we are having these Godavari and Krishna rivers, so that water will be drawn from those two major rivers and those water will be feeding to our crop fields. But in case of these Rayalaseema districts, that means Chittoor and Anantapuram and Kadapa, Kurnool, all those are having some scarcity of water due to less content of rivers in those areas, so that they are using simply these pumping mechanisms, so that they are go for huge amount of boreholes. In Prakasam also we are observing huge amount of boreholes because of scarcity of this river content in the area. They are simply going for this pumping. That means boreholes, simply they are digging. From those boreholes they are simply collecting the water and using for the purpose of irrigation. In some of the areas also these boreholes are simply taking and those water will be converting into these daily drinking water. That means RO UV purified water. In some of the mineral water basins, that means mineral waters also using this pumping mechanism from simply they are collecting water from the ground and they are treating with RO and UV. RO means reverse osmosis, UV means ultraviolet rays are passed. Why these two systems are used means reverse osmosis means whatever the salt content present in the water, that means we are simply digging water from the ground itself, so that the ground having huge amount of mineral content and salt content, the water will absorb those minerals and salts, so that we need to remove. Why? Because if we consume directly those water, automatically our digestion system and bones like calcium we are having, so that those are reactive with those elements, and simply we have to face huge amount of health problems. So that we need to control those mineral content in the water simply by this reverse osmosis, RO and UV techniques. So that we have to use this pumping method for the drinking water and other irrigation systems. Next one is exclusion. We need to observe this exclusion, how they are doing. Groundwater pumping can be reduced for avoiding this installation of very low permeability or physical cutoff wall or exclude ground drop from the excavation. Very low permeability physically cutoff wall to exclude groundwater from the excavation. That means exclusion means simply they are constructing a peripheral wall in the ground itself to control the flow of groundwater from soils itself. That means in nowadays we are simply observing for roads and other structures, the top layer simply we are using these chips, that means concrete waste, that concrete, not concrete waste, this stone quarry waste, quarry stone waste we are using as a top layer. Why? Because those stone quarry waste having huge content of this non absorbing content, that means non absorbing layer, so that those layer will not absorb the water and will not treating the water, that means they will not transfer the water from top layer to bottom layers. So that those are also example for this controlling of groundwater exclusion. Next one, if a low permeable stratum. Low permeability means the soil which will allows less content of water into the subsurfaces. Those are called as a low permeability stratum. Example is clay layers. Why? Because of clay means all the particles are very fine nature. So that if the particles are very fine means automatically there may be less content of voids. Due to those less content of voids, the total particles will bind each other and having a huge density strata like this fine due to this fine matter, so that the water content permeability is very less and exists as a shallow depth beneath the excavation. So that whenever we will go to ground, we will go to dig a groundwater on those particular clay areas, we have to go for a long depth for the getting of water. Then the cutoff wall can penetrate down and the stratum will excavate full cutoff. That means the cutoff wall can penetrate down to that stratum to create a full cutoff. The stratum walls have to penetrate with a huge amount of depth for getting this groundwater. Several different geotechnical methods can be used from the cutoff walls. Examples for the cutoff walls are these sheet, that means steel sheet piles. That means sheet piles. We have to focus on these terms. Normally sheet means a layer. After that we are having these piles. That means piles means one of the technique used for the foundation purpose. In a geotechnical engineering you are studied about these piles. Why? Because of for larger structures. That means for a larger structures to have a huge amount of soil bearing capacity, we have to go for these piles. Why? Because of piles means it will also having huge amount of depthy foundation in the soil, so that they will give huge amount of friction to the soil, and those friction will be helpful to the structure without any other sinkings. That means sinking means normally dropping downs. So that these steel sheet piles are used for the controlling of this groundwater. Next one is the concrete secant pile walls. These concrete secant pile walls means automatically nowadays we are observing these ready-made precast walls. That means precast means already those walls are constructed in the industries, so that those things we are simply taken into our side and we need to connect one by one, so that we have to use these structures very easily, and within a low span of time the total structure will completes. Next one is the slurry walls and trenches. Slurry walls means normally slurry means a cement and sand paste. We will call it the slurry walls and trenches. Trench means normally మనం చెప్పుకున్న పొలాల చుట్టూ వేస్తాం కదా కంచెలని. Slurry walls and trenches, those are also useful for the purpose of this flow controlling of groundwater into the subsurfaces. Next one is the grout curtains. Normally grout curtains are normally used in the household purpose without entering any dust particles or any other air content or any mosquitoes into our houses. Likely these curtains are used. Likely here we are using grout curtains. What is the purpose of grout curtain? Means the total soil is grouted by a particular content of cement paste like a curtain. That means in the shape of curtains, so that those curtains are helpful to the soil without absorbing any content of water or any other liquid mediums, including permeation of this grouting and jet groutings. Next one is the freeze walls. Normally freeze means the total water can be freezed at a temperature of 10 to 5 degrees. That means below 10 degrees, at 5 degrees the total water will be freezed at a solid content, so that this freezing walls automatically whatever the water present on the soil, the total water will be freezed due to these walls present in the grounds. Next one is the compressed airs. This compressed air means automatically whenever we are passing this air into the soils, automatically those air will give huge amount of pressure in the soil. Automatically due to those pressure, water will be separated in our soils. Next one, concrete contiguous pile walls leave a gap between the piles and do not form any effective cutoff to the groundwater flow, so that these concrete contiguous pile walls, those are also one of the method. In this method, these pile walls are simply giving a protective medium to control the groundwater flow. Next one is it is an incomplete process to control groundwater flow. That means normally all those techniques are somewhat up to some content we have to use. Why? Because if we are using in a very huge amount manner, automatically those things will give a unpleasant temperatures and unpleasant atmosphere to our structure. We have to use in a certain amounts only. In incomplete process also it controls to groundwater flow. That means whenever we are using all the previous method, that means we are having a different 6 to 8 methods, we have to use these methods in a strict manner. Otherwise, if there is a small leakage, then those small leakage also leads to a huge amount of collection of groundwater in the soil. So that whatever the point he tells is it is incomplete process to control the groundwater flow. If it is incomplete process to control the groundwater flow whenever we are having a small quantity of leakage. Why? Because the total structures are below the ground level. We won't have a proper identification methods with our naked eyes, so that if at all there is a small scale of leakage, automatically those small scale of leakage will lead to a big amount of problem to the structure. This is the main thing he want to tell. Next thing is even when a cutoff wall is used, some pumping will be required for the cope width. Cope width means we have to use those width with a angular manner. Groundwater trap within the cutoff area, that means groundwater trapped with the cutoff area. That means cutoff area means we have to observe what area is most probable for the collection of the groundwater, so that in those areas how we have to build these cutoff walls, whether we have to use a trench or whether we have to go for a angular manner or straight manner or slopy manner. Next one is a rainfall and precipitation in those areas. Is it a high density rainfall or low density rainfall area? That means normally in our state itself we are having a huge different regions. In those regions also we are having some regions with huge amount of rainfall and some regions with less quantity of rainfall. Likely in our project is located in which content of area, is it is a high volume low area or low volume area, all those things we need to mind. Next one is the seepage through the wall and through the ground, the ground content and the seepage content we have to observe. Groundwater control by exclusion of these widely used situations also leads to a risk of external impacts caused by the groundwater lowering techniques. Example, settlement of nearby structures are detrimental effects of the other water users. Settlement of nearby structures means if our structure is located in a area with a single manner means there is no problem. The structure is surrounded by different structures. It means when we go for a structural construction in a plain area, that means the area containing only our structure, only one structure, that is our structure. We are constructing a new structure on laying surrounding with the surrounding substructures means automatically we have to face huge amount of problem. Why? Because those structures also gives some quantity of water to the ground in the form of these percolations and seepage and other waste water, so that those are also causes some disturbances to our land. An exclusion system can if carried out effectively into ground conditions are favorable, minimize the groundwater lowering outside the dewatering site area. Exclusion system, in this exclusion system means we have to go for a different system with good content of results, can carries effectively and ground conditions are favorable. It means ground conditions are favorable when they will give effective conditions. Next thing is minimize the groundwater lowering outside the dewatered site area. Those things also very responsible for the lowering of the groundwater content and dewatered air site areas. Next one is the groundwater control by pumping. All the previous methods are related to first method. This is the second method we have to face for pumping methods. Groundwater control by pumping involves pumping of groundwater from an array of wells or sumps. And previously we discussed wells and sumps in a different gaps, and that means simply we need to mind a matrix having some rows and columns, so that each row and each column, so that what is the size of the matrix means simply we have to show with the m by n, that means number of rows by number of columns. Likely here also whenever we are going for this groundwater control by pumping, automatically we have to face those wells in the form of those matrix simply having a length and breadth. That means along the length we are having some quantity of bores, along the breadth we are having some quantity of bores. The total quantity of bores equal to length of wise bores into breadth wise bores. Groundwater control by pumping is also known as groundwater lowering. Constructing dewatering is simply dewatering. That means we are using this groundwater controlled by pumping is also known as lowering of groundwater. Automatically whatever the content of water present in the surrounding layers of soil, the total water will be removing. That means simply whatever the recharged water, those recharged water will be simply charging into the surface levels, so that simply we are decreasing the content of water present in the soil. That is also the main thing. The simplest from the groundwater control is a sump pumping, where groundwater is collected in the sump and pumped away from the excavation site. Previously we discussed the different types of sumps we are using. PVC sump, that means PVD, polyvinyl drains, those are also example for these sump pumpings. Next one, sump pumping can be hugely cost effective but excessively seepage and ground loss into the excavation areas. To avoid the risk, it may be necessary to use pre-drainage methods. That means pre-drainage methods means we need to go for some quantity of drainage with the help of layer by layer, layer by layer. We need to connect with these things automatically. Those will collect the water, and we need to draw down those water by using motors. The involving this involves lowering the groundwater level in a advanced excavation. That means it is an advanced excavation process, so that it will give a better results compared to this previous exclusion techniques. What are the different methods involved in this pre-drainage? First one is the deep well systems. We all know about deep well systems, and a well point system. These also we have observed. And the ejector systems are ejector wells. That means ejector wells means simply some quantities of bore wells. Simply they will all absorb the water, and they will flow throwing into the another layers. Next one is the shallow section wells. These shallow sections are wells are very deep wells. Those are directly connected to the groundwater recharge points. Next one is the relief wells. These relief wells are the wells which are connected from one side to another side, so that there is a huge amount of water in our side. Automatically, these relief wells will give certain quantity of relief to our side by simply drawing down into the another sides. What are the factors influencing on those relief wells? Are first one, the type of soil. If it is a reddy soil, that means red soils. If it is a black cotton soil, or if it is a sandy soil, so that those soils having different physical parameters and chemical parameters, so that those physical parameters and chemical parameters also leads to a good number of drainage properties. Next one is the nature of construction site. That means the nature of construction site. If it is a sandy site, or if it is a the site having huge amount of slope, or the site having a rocky strata, all those things are nature of construction sites. Those will influence these dewatering measures. Why? Because if the soil is having huge amount of slope, automatically due to the slope, the water will not stagnate on the surface. Why? Because water always flows along with the gravity, so that the gravity is more, automatically water will not move, will not stag on the particular place, will move along the direction of the gravity. Okay, these things we have to discuss in the next class.